Hi, I'm the Red Shirt Lady, and today we're going to make a turkey that is skinless and it's been shot wild. So, as you know or may know, a wild turkey is not going to be as round and plump as a store-bought turkey, but it's going to be better for you, leaner, and have better flavor. And we had skinned this one because it was easier to do. It was shot an hour or so before dark, and it was just easier than plucking it. So I'm going to show you how to prepare it if that's the case. So I'm going to soak this in some water to get out the blood that is left. We had frozen it and now I have thawed it. It's already been frozen once, but we're going to try to make sure we get all that blood out, and we add some flavor. So I'm putting about a 1/4 cup of salt in there that will help season it when it cooks. Some of that will soak in, but also it will help draw out the rest of the blood. I'll just let that soak. Okay, now our turkey has thoroughly rinsed, and I have got all the salt off of it by rinsing it and everything else, debris, make sure there's no feathers or anything. The best thing to do is to dry it off with a towel. We want it to be completely dry. And you can use paper towels, but I don't think they do as good a job. And the reason we're doing this is because we are going to cover it in some butter, and we want the butter to be able to adhere to it, which it won't do if it's wet. Since we don't have any skin on this turkey, we're not going to worry about presentation, about bringing it to the table with a nice golden crust, because there isn't going to be one. That would be the skin. So what we're going to need to do is keep the moisture in, and the butter is going to help with that. So I'm just going to rub it all over. Back side too. Then I'm going to put it in the pan. I'm using a roaster, and I've already got another turkey in there. I'm cooking 2 turkeys, so there'll be enough meat for my family because, like I said, these are smaller turkeys than store-bought turkeys. If you had only one smaller turkey, you could put it in the crock pot because, like I said, our main goal here is to keep moisture in, not to make a crust. So that's what that would do. But we are going to use a roaster. If you have a lid, that's great. If you don't, you want to tin it with some foil. I've taken 2 pieces and folded them twice in the middle so that they will seal. I'm going to wrap it. Right before I finish doing that, I'm going to put about 2 cups of water in there so that it will help steam and cook, and it will also keep some moisture in there that will continually be soaking in as it drips off from the top. I'm going to stick that in a 325-degree oven, and I'm going to check it at about an hour and a half. Okay, our turkeys are done now. I took them out about an hour and a half into it and basted them with the broth that's down in the bottom. They took a little over 3 hours to cook, which is not very much for 2 turkeys, and they have to be at least 165 in the thigh. You'll have to use your own meat thermometer, because of course it doesn't have a pop-up timer. So, since I said we're not worried about presentation, what we're going to do is let this cool, cut everything off the bone, arrange it nicely in a plate, and then I'm going to show you how to make a sauce to moisten it up. Now I've already taken all of the meat off the bones. I put the breast meat on a serving plate, and all of the dark meat and some of the smaller pieces of white meat here to make chicken and noodles, or turkey and noodles, or turkey and dumplings later. We still want to put some kind of thickened broth on this because the white meat is still a little bit drier than what store-bought meat would be. So I have taken the drippings of the meat, put them back in the oven to warm them up, and we are going to pour that through a strainer into a saucepan. We want to get all of the little pieces of meat, and this is coagulated blood and such. All the good broth in the pan, and then we will bring that to a boil. Now the broth is boiling in the pan, and remember we added water to the pan so that it would be this consistency. So if your drippings are stuck to the bottom of your pan, add some water, put it back in the oven, get all those good drippings off. Now I have some extra water that I'm going to put, this is tapioca starch, but you can use corn starch, what most people use. I'm probably going to put, it's a little over 2 tablespoons in here. Dissolve it in some cold water first. And I'm just going to add about half at a time and whisk it in. You can see it's already thickening up. I put my spoon back in there. You can see how it's starting to thicken. And put a little bit more. You want to salt and pepper this, probably about a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and basically your gravy is done. And this can be used for your broth to moisten up your meat as well as your gravy. So we're just going to pour it in this gravy boat, and then we're going to use part of it for presentation, part of it for our mashed potatoes. That's all.